What do you think?
Music's okay.
Yeah. All right, we're live, big guy.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new GSD Nation live stream. Today we have a few things that we're going to talk about. Firstly, there is some crazy stuff, specifically a peace deal that might be happening in Russia, Ukraine. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then if we have some time at the end, we might also talk about movies, how they're possibly downgrading. This was like one of the worst years in movie production history for like over 40 plus years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about that?
We might talk about that if we have enough time.
Time permitting. We'll start with Russia, Ukraine.
First, we'll start with Russia, Ukraine. But yes, so overall, crazy stuff has happened. So we'll probably now get right into it. So America, Donald Trump, he has proposed a peace deal possibly to Russia and Ukraine. So I have a few things about that. You can tell me which one you want to hear first, but so there's basically the entire deal and how other people are reacting to the deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we go over the basics of the deal?
Yeah. There's a few. Yeah. There's 28 exact parts of the deal, but I simplified it down a good amount.
There's 28 parts of the deal?
Or just like 28 sections inside the deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about some of the big items in the deal and then who it's a good deal for. And so forth.
Yeah. So I'll start off with this.
Okay.
Obviously, if this deal goes through, all hostages and civilians in both places are going to be released.
Okay.
Right.
So all prisoners
pretty normal,
of war.
right?
Yeah, that's good.
Ukraine will also not be occupied by anybody. I couldn't find anything on this, but Morning Wire said also this morning that any lands that Russia is currently occupying will be their lands forever now.
Yeah.
I didn't find anything on that, but if that happens, that would also be pretty big because, well, Ukraine's not really getting any specific lands.
Yeah.
Another very interesting thing that I heard here is that Ukraine cannot join NATO, and NATO is going to ban them from ever being able to join.
Okay.
Like permanent banishment.
Do you know why? Well, okay.
Yeah.
We can go through. So that's a big one.
It's a very big one.
However, that was kind of always understood because Russia had always kind of made this known that anybody that borders them can't be in NATO.
Yeah.
Right. Because now you've got people setting up bases right across your border. That would be like us saying, yeah, sure, China, you can occupy territory in northern Mexico or southern Canada.
Yeah.
Right. That would be weird. So I get why that would be part of the deal. And also Ukraine doesn't really have a history of being a very above level country.
Yeah. Something that I found interesting though, even though they're not allowed to join NATO, they are though allowed to join the EU.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like,
it's a bonus for them.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just thought that was kind of strange that, NATO and the EU, I kind of think of them as the same thing, even though, they're not really at all. But, it doesn't really make sense, though, why, they somehow let them to join that, but not this other organization, which is kind of around the same size. Another thing which I found particularly interesting, this is kind of the same thing that's happened in the Hamas conflict. Ukraine is now banned from having any nuclear weapons, any nuclear things. All their nuclear facilities have to be managed by I think it's like a government-run organization, kind of.
Okay.
So that's also a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, because Russia also has giant nuclear weapons, and they don't now, or can't.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
The Ukraine. This is probably one of the biggest ones. As you know, Zelensky has been kind of holding power now for a while.
Okay.
Ukraine has to hold an election within 100 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Which is pretty big because
Yeah.
Ukraine or Zelensky
I wonder
just
if
been staying there.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll interfere with it though. But okay.
Yeah, that's the bad part because like he can maybe even possibly interfere with it or something, or maybe we will, maybe Russia will. Who really knows, right?
Right.
Another cool thing is that now their entire like army has to be reduced down to 600,000 people.
Yes.
Not anymore, which is kind of small compared to most of the.
You're talking about Ukraine's army.
Yes, Ukraine's army has to be limited to that. Russia didn't really have actually that many restrictions. Actually, as a matter of fact, their restrictions got like reduced, where now they can like trade wheat and stuff across the Black Sea. Now, like they can trade with America and things, right?
Right.
They basically no longer have all these giant restrictions, which they already had before.
It'll open up some commerce for them as part of this deal, right?
Yeah.
Now, also, I think you have more details on this than I do, but wasn't there like $100 billion in frozen assets as well?
Yes. So Russia has $100 billion in frozen assets.
Yeah.
And I think they have to give some of that to Ukraine.
All of it.
All of that to Ukraine to help rebuild it.
Yes.
Up from what it
That's a good deal. Like that part's a good deal because
that's good for Ukraine
because they're going to use this money to rebuild, which they need to do, obviously, and that money's not going to Russia to rebuild. Some of that money will come back to us, which I imagine will get back to Ukraine. But there's part of that. What I heard is that 50 billion of it, because we gave so much money to Ukraine.
Yeah.
That 50 billion of that would come back to us. My sense is that we'll forgive it.
A lot of money.
Yeah, it is. My sense is we'll forgive it.
That might happen. But with Trump in office, who knows? But probably judging by, Congress and everybody else, will probably let it go back to them.
So that's a good. So, okay. So are there other key points or let's summarize.
There's basically two more, which I thought were specifically interesting.
Let's hit them.
First, the U.S. is they're basically now partners with Ukraine, right? So they're going to make sure to have a security guarantee with them. And then the other one, Russia cannot invade any neighboring countries.
Okay.
So that one was because they invaded, or they're around a lot of big people, right? They're basically the biggest country in the entire world, and they're around a lot of people.
And that's one of the things that people have said is that, if we let them have Ukraine, then they'll just keep moving on, right? Yeah. Okay. So what do you think are the most beneficial things for, let's start with Ukraine because there's not that much. What are the most beneficial things for them in this deal?
Well, they get a lot of funding from particularly all of Europe.
Yeah.
Europe is funding a little bit of the US, and Russia is giving them $100 million, which is a lot of money.
Well, it's frozen assets, so they get released and given to Ukraine.
I know, yeah. Right?
Sure.
So basically, it's given to the Ukraine. Then, right?
It's a lot of money. They can do stuff with that. They could launder a bunch of that, and their elites will get rich. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, they no longer have to worry about war.
Yes.
Which is a good thing.
I mean, yes. Who wants to be at war? So that is a good point. And they're not winning this war. I mean, people say they are, but yeah.
Yeah. And then a third thing that I'd say would be one of the big things is that now they get security from America. America is basically now Ukraine's big brother.
There's security guarantees, which are kind of subjective, to be honest. But
it's the name. It's like intimidating, kind of, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
Yeah, it's intimidating to Russia.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the big things for Ukraine. Russia basically got
everything.
They get pretty much everything they want. They get the land they've occupied.
Yeah.
They get to end the war. They get to open up commerce. Mm-hmm. They keep Ukraine out of NATO, which is a big piece for them.
That's a very big part.
So they do end up pretty well on this deal. And so that's, I think, part of the criticism I've heard from European nations and Ukraine leaders like Zelensky is that they want more out of the deal. But is that what you're hearing too?
Yeah.
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 But what do you think? Do you think they have leverage on Russia?
Like Ukraine?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of, because Ukraine Ukraine is kind of having leverage on America, and America is currently having leverage on Russia a little
Yeah.
bit. So I guess like if you
if
go
we
through
stop
the roots
funding
a
them,
little bit,
if we don't fund Ukraine anymore, then does Ukraine have any leverage on Russia?
if we stop funding them, kind of, if this deal does go through, right? But if this deal doesn't fully go through, then I don't really know, because there's still those kind of in like one of those states that are surrounding Russia.
But I
But
mean, do you think they do well against Russia without our help?
no,
Okay,
it'd be destroyed.
that's my. Yeah, I guess that's my point.
Why didn't you just say that in the beginning?
Well, I thought it was more clear. So, yeah, I think like if we're not backing them, they get squashed. They get squashed.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
definitely.
I think it's ultimately it's not a bad deal. They might tweak it a little bit, but I think it's not a bad deal. Like we want to end the war. Russia's got no incentive to like give up much. They really
Yeah.
don't. They can
Yeah.
stay there. They have the longevity. They can stay there. Their economy isn't getting wrecked. Like we've had sanctions on them forever, and
Long time.
we happen to know because we were there over the summer. We were in Russia over
They
the
were
summer.
doing amazing.
They're
such
doing
nice people
incredible.
there.
We can't hurt them through sanctions. They're producing for themselves at this point. So
Yeah. And then it makes you then wonder if giving them the sanctions might actually not help them.
you mean opening up commerce again?
Yeah.
Oh, have an opposite effect? I don't know.
What if? Because like now like America, a bunch of places in Europe who are basically fully open trade and stuff. They like Ukraine or
Yeah.
like basically all of Europe has gone kind of crazy. And then
Yeah.
here in America, we've had some crazy presidents and crazy people have gone to Congress.
Yeah.
Maybe it is better for them.
Well, we'll see.
knows?
I mean,
Only time will tell.
What do you think? Why do you think do you think we could be friends with Russia?
Yeah. Honestly, that would be the best thing ever.
Why not?
Because they are like basically the second most powerful, or I'm just like estimating here, right? They're basically kind of like the second or third most powerful like country in the entire world. And we are basically first, right? So, but the first and second theoretically best countries meeting up basically and basically making like a pact where they're the best together.
Why not?
We'd be basically unstoppable, right?
Well,
Not like a conquering or anything, but we'd be like we'd have a lot of influence, right?
We could help. Yeah, we could help each other. We trade more. We have open, dialogue, commerce, etc. Yeah, I think it would be healthy. We've been at odds with Russia way too long, and you could say, well, they're corrupt, but
they basically only been at Russia or against Russia is basically just because when they had the USSR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically just started then when they were like, oh, right, we're all bad and stuff, right? Or basically that's what we thought of them.
Yeah,
and then from then
they were a communist country and we're capitalists.
Yeah, and then from then,
so we think that's oppressive, which it is. But they changed. They're now a free market system.
Yeah, but a lot of Americans thought that they basically just kind of stayed the same, even then they basically entirely changed. Right? They split up from the USSR.
Do you think it's possible though that we were hard on Russia because we
thought they were the most powerful people, right? So we wanted to protect ourselves to keep us the most powerful.
It's kind of like sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Like sweep the leg. Don't let them get too strong, right? Let's cheat a little. So anyway, I think it would be good to have a good relationship. I don't see why not. That'd be tremendous. I mean, they've done, like you could say, like leadership wise, you don't have to agree with them on everything, but boy, I bet you if you look outside in at what the U.S. has done globally with our coups and our CIA and everything, it's not super nice either.
Yeah, definitely.
So nonetheless, okay. Well, so what do you think will happen, Will? Do you think this deal will happen? Do you think the art of the deal, Donald Trump will make this happen?
I don't really know. Yeah, but after all, Trump is basically the master negotiator. He's able to do it. He's made a lot of deals within this year of office here.
Yes.
The only thing is, Russia, judging by from what I've heard, they are very open to the deal. They like the deal a lot. Meanwhile, Ukraine hates it.
Yeah.
like honestly, it's very good for them, right? They're getting served, like they're getting protected from us.
Yeah.
Basically, all of their like damages will be effectively repaid, right? And then it'll be rebuilt right back up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what is it? And then they will also no longer be at war with Russia. Like,
Yeah.
all of those are very good things. I guess they're just mad that like Russia gets like some land from them and stuff, but
It's a big deal.
yeah.
You don't want to give up. You don't want to give up part of your nation, I suppose.
But overall, it's like, would you rather give up a little bit of your land to like make your entire country at peace again? Or would you rather stay at war
Yeah.
for who knows how long?
Yeah, and arguably this land, well, there's a lot of history to this, but arguably some of this land is actually occupied by historically Russians. But nonetheless, somebody dropped a comment like, I don't think they're going to accept the deal. I agree. And I think this is where we'll see how Trump does with his negotiation. But if we don't back them, they'll just get run over and it'll get worse.
Yeah. The other thing, Dad, which is possibly affecting this maybe is that a lot of the people in Europe, specifically like, France, UK, a bunch of other areas over there.
Yeah, but
they're suddenly like coming in being like what do you mean? You guys shouldn't accept this when they basically have given almost nothing effectively to Ukraine.
That's like
they're
cheerleaders, if anything. They're just like passive cheerleaders. They've done nothing. Their own countries are turning to shambles because of their leadership.
And they're trying, and then now they're
like, you should be more like us and like total idiots. No thanks. Sorry.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy that they're even trying to give their advice. And if Ukraine accepts their advice, man, I don't know. I mean, like, Ukraine should realize that we have stayed in here with them for so long, right? We have helped them so much. Like, if they don't accept this deal, right? And then like
it shouldn't have really ever gone this far.
It should have stopped almost immediately.
Unfortunately, Biden gave him what, $160 billion. Like, we shouldn't have done any of that. If we wouldn't have done any of that, it would have never gone on this long and this far. And it's too bad because a lot of people have been hurt, died, displaced. It's incredibly sad.
Really nasty.
And it needs to end.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Okay. So a deal is potentially on the table. One party maybe coming out on a little bit higher ground with it, but
yeah,
I don't think Ukraine is in much of a position to negotiate. They should take it.
Yes. It's the best for everybody, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. That was good. You had a lot of info on that one.
So
what else you want to cover?
I have two things here. First, I have a few interesting stories that maybe we can say. And then maybe after that, we can then do some stuff about Hollywood and how they are slowly also turning to shambles.
Okay.
Right? You like that?
Yes. Okay. Nice. But let's hit it quick.
There's actually like basically a few very interesting stuff which I found funny. Firstly,
these are like random news stories?
Yes.
Okay.
Firstly, Dad.
These are fun.
Yes. An eagle picked up some random person's cat, flew over to like a highway, and dropped the cat on somebody's windshield.
Is that right?
Yes. It literally shattered the entire glass. Now, I didn't see if the cat lived or not, but I would suspect
cats are pretty tough to kill. But that one sounds like. Cause I think
that may have cost it all 9 lives.
Right.
But yeah, that was interesting. Another funny thing, this is just like insane. Actually, you may have known that there's a banana taped to a wall that's like sold for I think 18 million or something. Right. Very interesting. Very beautiful art, right? Oui.
Yes.
Right.
It's a tax shelter.
Meanwhile, Dad, you want to know something that actually is interesting?
Yeah.
So you love Superman, right? And like you love DC and stuff.
I do. Not the latest Superman.
There was a Superman comic from 1939, basically mint condition.
Wow.
And it just sold at an auction for a record-breaking $9.12 million.
Are you kidding me?
I know, a comic. But Dad, think of this even harder. You pay twice that much and you pay for a banana taped to a wall.
Yeah,
Now
I'd
that's a
rather
good deal.
I'd rather have 2 Superman comics than the banana taped to the wall.
Well, yeah. I mean,
That's
like
me.
at least the Superman comics have like some like
Tradability.
yeah, right.
Also,
Meanwhile,
they don't spoil.
yeah.
Not as quickly as a banana taped to a wall.
Yeah, exactly. But
That's weird.
so those are basically the few interesting things that I found.
Okay.
There are a bunch of other things like bears chasing children into like a dollar store and stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah?
that stuff is very irrelevant, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. But overall, those are the funny news stories so far that I have found of this
Nice.
week. Thank you
Okay.
guys very much for watching that.
Those are good ones. Yeah.
I agree.
Thanks for sharing.
So now it's time for the good stuff. The stuff that I have been rambling about and you have been rambling about, especially when we were watching the Vikings get horribly beat on Sunday.
What a disappointment.
Yeah, you were raging about the new Avatar movie.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
like the first Avatar movie was kind of groundbreaking. It was cool. But then they're like, well, hey, let's make another one. Let's make another one. So now it's the third one. It's like, okay, we know the story. Bad people come to mine your planet and then you're going to fight them off and win.
It's
Awesome.
effectively
Good
the
job.
exact same story now for who knows how many movies.
Yeah. Yeah. So that started the conversation about just no new ideas come to Hollywood, huh?
Yeah.
They have all they do is
That's-
remakes.
Speaking of, that's actually our topic here, right?
Okay.
Hollywood is getting very uncreative.
Yeah.
And we need to tell them to start making new movies. Actually, it's not just Hollywood. For example, there's Disney.
Mm.
In my opinion, other people might think differently. Disney completely ruined Star Wars and put it in the trash bin. And I will tell you why. Firstly, the original trilogy is perfect.
Yeah.
They didn't need to add the sequel, I think.
Yeah. The prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then
then-
the sequel. Yeah.
Well, no. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
secondly, they added all these extra shows like Boba Fett, Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Other people may like them. I think they're trash and they're awful and they're
Mhm.
worthless.
Yeah. It
So
also kind of messes up the story.
yeah, like specifically in
really
the
stay
Mandalorian,
consistent.
suddenly Luke came back and he was like a young boy when this happened in it, like basically
Yeah.
a long
and they
time in
had
the
like
future.
they had Vader and Obi-Wan meeting again. That never happened in the originals. Like, so I don't know. That stuff's frustrating.
Yeah, like overall, yeah. But so yeah, I could go on. for a
Yes,
long
we
time
could go
about
on.
this.
Okay, stop raging.
Disney-
Stop raging over
Disney,
how
though,
Disney's messed up just about every film they've
They've-
touched.
Exactly,
you
they've
talking
ruined
about?
everything. I know.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Why do
But-
they do? Well, okay, we can come back
They-
to the why, but
I'll tell
go
you
over the stats. Like this
I'll-
summer, this year.
this year actually. So this was the worst year in the box office since 1981.
1981.
81.
So
Yes,
this is
I
the
know. That's
worst
over
year in
44
Hollywood.
years.
Box office earnings since 1981.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's not good.
I know. It's crazy. Granted, it makes sense because, and I'll tell you the why here quickly for the Disney thing, because they are so uncreative that they cannot come up with one new good idea. And all
Yeah.
they do is just copy the old ones, which
Mhm.
used to do really well.
Yeah, or do remakes, right? Like, how many Terminator movies are there? How many Running Man movies? I think there's going to be another Running Man movie. Like, have we not done enough Running Man movies?
And then you also mentioned
Predator
the,
movies,
Avatar, right?
Alien movies, Avatar movies, Rocky movies. Like, I think you can get by with maybe 1 or 2, 3. But like, come on, the latest Superman movie. What was that?
Dad, yeah, this year, Dad, it brought in movies in the box office, brought in a total of $3.67 billion, which was the lowest, like basically ever,
Mm.
not accounting for 2020 and 2021, because you know those were COVID, effectively.
Right.
So
Wow.
Yeah. Six,
Okay. So
But-
what do you think Hollywood's gonna? Do you think they'll learn from this, or do you think that?
No,
So-
they haven't learned at all for like we've basically been now telling them this effectively for like the last few years. It's just now it's making it so bad that like
Yeah.
we have to actually like speak out about it.
Like they had some good times with the Marvel. They had some good Marvel movies for a bit, and then the Marvel movies got bad. They've all
Yeah.
gotten like
That's
to be
another
honest.
series they ruined.
Yes, they ruined
kept
it.
adding on to the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, it's like now, I don't know. They try to change the character arcs and
Yeah,
the heroes.
and make some of them
everything.
gay or something.
Yes, they got to
right?
make them either gay or women or whatever. So like, I think that is. Look, I get it, people. I get it, but like, I think that is challenging interest in people wanting to go to the movies when you make Superman a non-binary, gender non-conforming. Okay.
Yeah,
Like that's not going to help the Superman sales.
exactly. And like there was one big Superman sale that sold for like 9 point something.
Well, that was the original. That was the OG stuff. Of course.
Dad, I have a question for you. Do you think, Pete, like they're just doing this because like they're out of ideas? Like there's no more good ideas that they think will do good in the box office? Or do you think they're just doing it because maybe like they've seen all these other movies of the same thing perform well and they want to just keep repeating it?
Yes, I think that it's a couple of things. I think that ideas that have demonstrated results have a lower risk profile associated with directing them. Meaning, like if you make a Superman movie, or you make another Star Wars movie, there's a certain amount of people that are going to come to it no matter what. If you make a new movie with a completely fresh idea, right?
Who knows how many people are actually going to come, right?
Who knows? Exactly.
It's a gamble, but it's like, but like you're actually creating something new, unlike doing something old, and eventually that old thing will turn into dust, right? It'll just keep going down effectively.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you create something new, you basically have a 50-50 chance of going up or down, right?
Right. Yeah, like I saw somebody in here mention Spider-Man, like horrible. And then how about the latest Flash movie? What was that?
There's another one?
Yes.
Oh god.
Not
more.
Like, yeah, it's not good. Okay, so what do you think that they're going to correct? They're going to self-correct Hollywood?
I'll give you my personal opinion. No. Because I'll tell you why. Mainly because they already have not for the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, right? So they've basically just been repeating the same thing over and over, as I've now just been repeating the same thing over and over now for like the last 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if, man, but like they're gonna have to get like a lot of hate or like a lot of people. For example, this, right? How there's like $3.67 billion this year.
6-7?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I already did that. But like, and that's like a historical low. So I'm hoping that like the box office will realize that and actually do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
But the box office might also not do that because, well, the more and more they're realizing, like, there's actually there are a few things that which might actually be playing into this. Firstly, they're no longer, or like when they release stuff in the movies, it's no longer where like after releasing in the movies, then it's another 90 days and then it's released in like Prime Video or something. Actually, it's now I think 17 days.
Yeah.
Until you can release it on Prime or something.
Sure.
So it's a lot less time. I mean, people do not have as much enthusiasm to go to the movies and actually do this to watch it.
Yeah. A lot of people are, holding back from going to the movies. It's easy to do it at home. Right?
Yeah. Like just sit on the couch and eat some popcorn.
Exactly. Well, how about this? This was a fun discussion. Let's wrap it up. Any final, questions? Somebody asked, where's Max?
Oh, Max.
Practice. He's at practice. And then got some new merch. Will's wearing some new merch.
This is some of the best stuff ever. I highly suggest it. Go to gsc-nation.com. Right? Yeah. Very good. That's Dino. Also, you may have seen me wearing this amazing shirt. This is called Illegal Santa. It is because Santa is illegal. Every year, he crosses the border.
He might have a visa. I think they
but
gave
still
him a
that
visa.
He still is illegal though, because every year then he trespasses into people's homes.
Well, yeah, there is something to that.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thing to consider. So, okay, how about this? We will wrap it up. We appreciate everybody for joining, and this was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing all the good info, William.
Thank you.
All right. Next time, see ya.
Goodbye.